us as mixing engineers were basically micro managing things, in the sense that we're dealing with the vocal, the kick, the guitar, the tambourine. We're dealing with very small stuff, and we're micromanaging, right? And the mastering engineer is like the macro managing guy who's looking at everything at the same time,
the full
as a
picture.
whole.
Yeah,
Yes.
we look at the trees and they look at the forest.
Yeah. So when you want to try to master something, you have to change your focus. If you still think as a mixer, you will mess it up. Period.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. So
That's great.
because you're still thinking as a mixer.
Right.
And me knowing this doesn't make me a good mastering engineer, but at least I know
that you have to put a different hat on.
If I try to master something, because sometimes there's no budget for something or whatever. I mean, I work with a lot of clients and budgets and whatever, and sometimes people can't really afford a mastering engineer, and sometimes I just gotta jump on it, right?
Right.
So, yeah. So I have to stop thinking about the mix. I have to start thinking about the song. I mean, not the song as music, but the song as a whole thing.
Right.
Like, what's the general color of the song?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not thinking if the guitar is too bright. I'm thinking, like, what about the whole thing? And then try to make it work as a whole, but not EQing to notch out something that is bothering me on whatever.
Right.
That's a mixing step. Right.
I think that's so cool, because I feel like I've never thought about it. Like, I've interviewed a lot of mastering engineers, and I feel like I understand mastering now. But like, that mindset shift, how you explained it, is really, really good. Because I think that every time I've screwed up a mix by trying to master it myself is because I'm still in that mixing mindset, and I'm listening to the individual things. Like,
this kind of, and you're trying to mix it from the master channel.
Exactly.
Which it's basically impossible.
You're like, oh man, this is doing good things to the kick, but it's messing up the vocal. Like, oh, maybe I should try that. Like, it's not the right approach, right? The approach is like, does this feel good? Does this have enough low end? Does this have not enough low end?
Yeah. Is it making the song feel better? Is it making the whole song move? Does it feel bigger? Does it feel smaller? Does it feel too compressed? Is it too dynamic? Is it not dynamic enough? But you're not thinking about single elements anymore.
Right. Forget about that tambourine in the second chorus.
That has to go. That has to leave your brain, right? Unless there's a problem, and you cannot, or like, you can probably tell the mixing engineer, hey, could you drop the volume of the tambourine a couple of dBs, because it's a little bit too loud. When I limit, then it comes up too much or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, yes, you can think about that, and maybe you could use a de-esser to take care of the tambourine if you cannot go back to the mixing engineer. But you have to take in account that using a de-esser or a multiband compressor to control the tambourine will affect other things.
Right.
Also.
Exactly. The guitars, the vocals, whatever. So
you gotta like really hit the right spot on the side chain of the de-esser, and be really, really, really subtle, and like A/B like a crazy guy. A/B a lot. Because we as mixing engineers tend to make big changes.
Right.
We make bold EQ moves. We might compress things to death, right? Because because we want to achieve a vibe, right?
Right.
But in mastering, no, that's not how you do it.